For game 2 from the Nashville Shootout. Kirkwood securing a 4-1 win in game 1 over the Nashville Junior Predators. Now here in game 2 we'll get the Carolina Junior Hurricanes. Both teams in Kirkwood's group this weekend with the mimicking the NHL team names and jerseys. I'm told that this Carolina team defeated that Nashville team 2-0 in their first game. Sounded like similar run out as Kirkwood had, with Carolina spending most of the game in the offensive zone, high shot total, but couldn't get as many to go as they really wanted. So ended up only being the 2-0 victory, but from the report I got, it was much more lopsided than that. Very much in the same way that Kirkwood's game was spent in its attacking zone, and could have been more lopsided than the 4-1 scoreline they got. So these teams match up very evenly on paper, just a few points separating them in the My Hockey Rankings score. So I'm expecting a pretty even matchup here. I'm expecting it to be the first of 3 games between these two teams this weekend. It'll be interesting to see, not only in this game, but from game to game, what kinds of adjustments are made by each team, if there's any growing animosity between the teams. You know, they say fish and family spoil after 3 days. That might be true for these two teams. By the time we get to Sunday, these long series, you never end up liking your opponent too much by the end of it. But we will start fresh here. Both these teams in line for that Sunday championship spot already. But we'll get the first look at each other here in game 2 of the tournament for Kirkwood. Game 1 between these two teams. The big storyline for Kirkwood in the background here is Rory's wrist. The star goalie for Kirkwood sprained it on a snowboard with all the snow in St. Louis. She did play the full game in game 1. Saw her giving her mama a big bear hug, lifting off the ground. So wrist seems to be fine, as Liam wins the opening draw and pushes forward. His signature move off the face-off, gets a great pass to the crease. Kirkwood can't put it away, and here comes Carolina. In behind the defense, centering pass. Now Gavin, fresh off his first 2 goals of the season, clears the zone. Carolina sends it right back in. Gavin was wearing the captain's C in game 1. Scored the opening goal of the tournament for Kirkwood, and added another on a slap shot in the second period for his first 2 goals of the season. Liam's got the captain's C on here this afternoon as Leo pushes forward. Coming in and broken up by the defense. Loose puck, who wants it? A little lack of urgency there. Nobody really sure who was going for that one. As Carolina makes a push, 1 against 4, sends it behind the goal and wraps it around up the boards. Puck squirts out to neutral ice. And Carolina comes back in. Centering and picked off by Jacob. He tries to push his way out of the zone. Now gets it to neutral ice. David trying to skate to daylight. Gains the blue line. Whoa. David goes down. Bodie comes in, misses the puck. Defense is back for Kirkwood as here comes Carolina. Collision at the blue line. No call. And the puck squirts out to center ice. Jacob looking for a pass. Finds the Hurricane instead. Carolina comes in. Makes a move. Drops it off. Shot. Scores. Carolina strikes first, taking the early 1-0 lead here. Just under 10 minutes to go in the first period. Nice little drop-off pass there on the wing. Gave the forward an open look and rips it in past Rory, who wasn't tested too much in the first game. Didn't need her wrist as much on that one as it goes low. And Kirkwood trying to sustain the possession here. Does keep it in momentarily. Chipped off the boards, into the corner. That's Jaden and Jackson teaming up together. Now back to the point, that's Blake. Broken up. Here comes Carolina on a rush. Turning the corner. Wow, he got right into the low slot there, turning the corner on the defenseman. Couldn't bury the shot, and here comes Kirkwood the other way. Carolina on the puck in the corner, tries to clear the zone. Jacob holds the line, sends it back down deep low slot. Carolina defense is there, skating it out. Gavin dumps it right back in. Aiden now, he'll try the swing. Coming in, passing to the far post. That was Jackson. Tracks it down in the corner. Get on him. Carolina looking to come up these near boards. Skating with speed through the neutral zone. Liam skating out with it. Gets a pass up to Leo. Jacob does dump it in. Leo grabs it. Stopped there by Carolina, but Leo back on the puck. Centering, only black jerseys are there. Another counter from Carolina. Another drop off on the wing. Shot. Oh, it was almost a mirror image to the first goal. Another shot comes in low in the pads. It's behind Rory. Scramble for the puck. Where is it? Whistle in the goal. So Carolina comes in on a rush and runs essentially the exact same play that they scored on initially, coming down that far wing, dropping the puck off in the face-off circle for the open shot, low into the pads. Rory made the initial save, but on the rebound, it did sneak under her, behind her in the crease. Wasn't across the goal line yet, but as there was a mad scramble for the puck that did sneak behind Rory, Carolina does eventually work its way across the goal line. They have a 2-0 lead here early in game 2 of the tournament. Puck goes the length of the ice, but makes its way to the goalie, so no icing. Here comes the forecheck. And Kirkwood sends it back in off sides. So Kirkwood in a quick hole here, 2-0. That's the same scoreline that Carolina beat the Junior Predators with. As Jaden will take the draw for Kirkwood. He's got Aiden on his right, Jackson on his left. Carolina wins it, sends it forward, goes the length of the ice for icing. So Kirkwood will get an offensive draw here. Jaden still manning the center position on this shift. Blake and Gavin on the D line with Aiden on the right and Jackson on the left, wing on forward. Stick from Jackson in the slot. Tries to turn it around. Can't. Carolina breaks it out. Here they come down that right wing again. Defense is ready for it this time. Carolina turns it around at the center line. Gavin gets a stick to it. Blake behind the goal, up ahead to Aiden. Held in at the point. Sent back down deep. Gavin pushes it up the far boards. It's Jackson on the puck. He's got Aiden with him. Oh, it sneaks back over the blue line, comes in offsides. So Kirkwood in an early 2-0 hole here. Makes the shift on the whistle. We'll have Liam Gale on the dot. Looks like Sam and Leo on the wings. Bodie and Jacob on the D-line. Carolina behind their own goal. Liam with a nice stick to turn it over. Here's the forecheck from Sam. Sam holds it in, dumps it down into the corner. Here's Liam now on the forecheck. It sneaks out to neutral ice. Jacob is there, has to wait. Does stay on side, but it comes right back out. Carolina now looking to attack. Leo is there. Back out to neutral ice. Carolina reloading at the center line. Here comes the Hurricane. Centering pass. Broken up. Sent ahead to Will. Skates in on the forecheck. He was a menace on the forecheck in game one everywhere. Lifting sticks all over the place. High motor player, that Will Dunbar. Gavin sends it in. It gets deep into the corner. Will coming in. Now Carolina. Nice stop by Blake at the center line, but Carolina keeps coming. David turns it around. He's got Will with him. Tries to get him too far ahead, but Will catches up to it. David behind the goal. Here comes Carolina skating it out. 3-on-2. Will joins it. 3-on-3. Here's a break for Kirkwood. Jackson skating in. Little back check is just enough to poke the puck away. Jackson looked like he was in on goal. And Carolina comes the other way. In offsides. So Kirkwood gets a break there on the change. Jackson looked like he was clearing away. Carolina pokes it from behind just enough to disrupt the rush, and no shot on goal. Kirkwood continues to trail 2-0 here. 3:21 left in the first frame. Jackson will take the draw now. Here comes Kirkwood's forecheck. Carolina turns it around, sends it up the boards. It does get out. It's 2-on-1 for Carolina. Jacob back. Switching pass missed its mark. That was a dangerous look for Carolina, coming with speed. 2-on-1. Kirkwood comes the other way. It's Aiden turning the corner. He misses the backhand. He got around that last defender, but couldn't get his backhand on the puck as he came across the crease. Jacob chases it to his own end. Bodie jumps on the loose puck in the corner, sends it out to neutral ice. Carolina switches the side. Liam gets a stick to it. Jackson grabs the loose puck. Back to Liam. Fighting for it. Loose puck. Back out to Gavin at the center line. He dumps it in. Deep behind the goal. Into this near corner. Liam on the puck, in the face-off circle, now in the corner, centering, off a skate. Gavin tries to pinch, forward gets by him. Blake hustles back, gets a stick to it. That was a dangerous moment there. Blake had to leave his man to go track that puck down. He does enough to disrupt the rush there. Good hustle by Blake to cover for Gavin, who missed on the pinch. But here comes Carolina again. Battle in the corner. Makes a move. We have a delayed penalty here. It's going to be against Kirkwood as they touch it up. So Carolina will get the first power play of the game, already leading 2-0 with just under a minute to go in the first frame. Or no, actually, they did the delayed penalty wrong there. They're sending a Hurricane player to the box, even though they waited for Kirkwood to touch it up. So they let Carolina play on there, even though the penalty was against them. That was my confusion on the delayed penalty. Should have been an immediate whistle. But it is a Kirkwood power play, not a Carolina power play. As it goes back to Bodie, loads up a wrister. It's blocked. Jacob hustling back, one-on-one. Short-handed for Carolina, saved by Rory. Follows, kept out. As the puck comes in, deflected to the corner. That was a big moment. Short-handed for Carolina. Rory keeping it out. Here's Will, one-on-one. Makes a move. Loses it in the skates. Back to Bodie. Back down into the corner. That's David looking for a pass. Back out to Bodie. Shot blocked. Bodie holds the line. Over to Bryson. And that's the end of the period. Kirkwood will have 31 seconds of power play to start the second period, but they do trail 2-0 after the first frame. Carolina scoring on almost mirror image plays down that far wing, coming on the rush, and the forward with the puck drops it off to a supporting player in that face-off circle, creating an open shot, who rips it into the low pads. First one snuck by Rory for the opening goal. Second one was initially saved, but got under her pads on the follow and sat in the crease behind her, creating a mad scramble for the puck in the crease. Couldn't see exactly what happened. There was a whistle before I was sure it was in, but then the goal motion did come from the referee. So Carolina scores on the same play twice in slightly different fashions. The bottom line is they lead 2-0 here after one period. But Kirkwood looked like it was setting up some possession and pressure on that power play. at least after Carolina got that initial rush shorthanded, the puck squirted out behind everybody, and Carolina was away 1-on-none with the goalie. Jacob hustling back, and Kirkwood did just enough to keep that deficit at 2 instead of 3. But once that chaos settled down, they were able to set it up on the power play in the offensive zone. They've got 31 more seconds to do that again here. As Carolina takes it behind their own goal. Nice stick on the forecheck by Aiden. Back out to Gavin at the point. He sends it in on goal, bounces into the low slot. Blake backhands it. Now back to Aiden in the corner, wrapping it around. Gavin holds it in. Looking for a centering pass, that's Jackson. Still on the puck. And Carolina picks it off on the pass back to the point. We're back to full strength here. Carolina dangles it away from the goal, now turns around at the blue line. Kirkwood sends it out. Jackson coming up these near boards. Carolina wins it back. And now late whistle on the icing will bring the puck for offensive zone face-off for Kirkwood. It will be Liam Gale wearing the captaincy on the dot for Kirkwood. It's got Bodie and Jacob on the D-line with him. Sam and Leo on the wings. Liam chases it behind the goal. Leo comes in to help. Now Carolina on an attack. Drops it off. Back down into the corner. Stick sends the puck way high. Now it lands in behind the goal. Battle for it in the corner. That's Bodie. Bodie's still working for it. It goes to the other corner now. Leo wins the puck, turns it around, skates it out. Carolina's there at center ice, coming right back in, dumping it in behind the goal. Bodie's there, time up the boards. Sends it all the way out. It's not gonna make it for icing. Here comes Leo on the forecheck. And Carolina chips it up the boards. Now skating in. Jacob winning the puck. Carolina sending it in deep. Gavin looking for the exit pass, finds Leo's skates. Bryson there. Up ahead to Leo, turned over. Leo wins it back. Up ahead to Sam. Gets a stick behind the defense. Gets a backhand shot on goal. Ultimately an easy save, but good work by Sam to get in behind the defense there. Earning that O-zone face-off. Bryson will take it for Kirkwood. He's got David on his left and Will on his right, Gavin and Blake on defense. David fighting for it. Squirts free to Carolina. Bryson grabs it in the neutral zone, makes a move, gains the blue line. Black jerseys are there. Bryson back on the puck. Now Will tries to get it low, still fighting for it. Bryson in the corner, centering through the slot. Gavin holds the line. Down in the corner for David, over to Bryson, Centering, David's on the back door, couldn't get a stick to it. Will, nice stick at the center line. Again, up ahead to Bryson. Fights through, centers, David, backhand, wide of the post. Wrap around. Here comes Will on the forecheck, wins the puck back. Now behind the goal. Bryson can't chase it down and it squirts past Blake. Gavin's got to hustle. He does get to it first and will take it behind his own goal. Out to neutral ice. Carolina reloading in their own end. Stopped at the blue line. Now out. Aiden steps up, skates it back in. Behind the goal. Have an arm in the air here. Delayed penalty, I believe. Now they whistle it. Let's see what the call is. Looks like it's going to be against Carolina again. So Kirkwood will get its second power play. Hooking is the call. So Kirkwood will load up power play number 2. Carolina got a real good shorthanded break on the first penalty before Kirkwood was able to set up camp a bit before the end of the first period. Let's see what Kirkwood can do with the man advantage this time around. Aiden winning the puck in the corner. Now a battle for it. 2 Stars are in there. It squirts out. Can't make the centering pass. Now it's over to Bodie. Down to Jaden. Jacob, long shot from the blue line. It goes wide. Jackson jumps on it. Behind the goal. Over to Jaden, centering. Aiden's shot goes wide. That was a good look. Kirkwood sustaining some possession on this power play here. Aiden with it in the corner, centers it off the side of the goal. Carolina skating it out. Aiden lifts the stick. Carolina skates forward, shorthanded. Aiden wins it back. Switches it to the far corner. Puck is held in. Now Jacob skates it out. 2-on-2 rush for Kirkwood. On the power play, shot comes in. Out to neutral ice. 13 seconds left of power play for Kirkwood. Sam sends a long shot from the neutral ice. Gets it all the way on goal. And Kirkwood will have an offensive zone face-off with 6 seconds left on the power play clock. Liam will take the draw for Kirkwood. Sam on his left. Leo on his right, Gavin and Blake on the D-line. Back out to Blake, he does hold the line. Whiffs on his shot or pass. Does hold the line again though, gets it in deep. Carolina back to full strength. Sam on the forecheck. Gavin steps up, gets it deep. Carolina will try the other side. Skating up through the middle. Liam on the puck, shot from the wing. Save. So Kirkwood's knocking at the door, but still scoreless, down 2-0. Just over 5 minutes to play here in the second period. Bryson will take this face-off for the Stars. David on his left. Will on the right. Gavin and Blake still on the D-line. Back to Blake. Shot goes wide. Carolina skates it out. Rory paddles it behind the goal. Nice stick by Blake in the corner. Carolina still on the puck here. Now sends it behind the goal. Gavin grabs it, up to David, over to Bryson. They work it out of the zone, but Carolina coming right back in. They get the puck low. Blake looking for an open teammate. It does squirt out. David's got it. Up ahead. Can't get it to Will. David gets another stick to it. Now Bryson. And we have a whistle behind the play. Interference is the motion. This time it's against Kirkwood. It's Bryson coming to the box for interference. So Carolina will get its first power play of the game, third penalty in this contest. Show you the scoreboard. Kirkwood trailing 2-0, just under 4 minutes to go in the second period. Now down a man, 5-4. Loose puck, Bodie finds it. That did come out and back in now for offsides. A little bit of a late whistle there. So it's Jackson on the dot for Kirkwood. Yes, that looked like there were too many stars on the ice there. Still on the penalty kill here. Aiden bumps it into the offensive zone. Carolina defense is back. Here's Leo on the forecheck, getting a stick to it. Now Carolina skates it out. Again, over and back for offsides. 44 seconds left on the penalty kill for Kirkwood. Stars go for a change. It will be Jackson on the dot. Gavin and Blake, fresh legs on defense. Carolina whiffs on the pass, so here comes the forecheck, shorthanded. They get it low. Jackson is back there. Gavin holds the line, over to Jaden. Sticking with it. There's a chance for a shot through the legs. Can't get a stick for the finishing blow there. Would have been a nice look at a shorthanded goal. 10 seconds left on the penalty kill. Here comes Jackson skating in, shorthanded, loose in the low slot. Kirkwood getting some decent looks here with one less man on the ice. Now Bryson joins the attack. He switches out for Aiden, and Kirkwood's back to full strength. Here's Jackson again in the slot. Powering it through, but wide of the goal. Now Aiden loses the puck. Here's Carolina on the rush. Coming with speed. Switching sides. Good stick disrupts the attack. Back to the point. Down to the low slot. Into the far corner. Centering pass. Defense is there. Sam skates it out. He's got Liam with him. Centering. Liam's there. Can't get it to go. Good look. Great pass from Sam on the wing. One of several stars who came into the tournament with 7 assists. Liam will take the draw. Sam and Leo on his wings. Bodie and Jacob on the D-line. Centering, only black jerseys are there. Good stick by Leo, wins it back. Bodie steps up. Liam fighting hard on the back check. Here comes Carolina turning the corner. Good stick to keep that from an attack. Loading up over wrister. It's high. It's loose. It's in Rory's glove. They are going to fight to protect her, nursing that sprained wrist on her glove hand. Bryson taking the draw for Kirkwood. Bodie skates it behind the goal. And we have a penalty here. Should be Kirkwood's 3rd power play of the game. We were pretty light on infractions in game 1, but penalty box is starting to get busy here. 4th penalty of the game, 3rd power play for Kirkwood. With 50.8 seconds left in the period. Bryson takes the draw. Carolina wins it, lifts it high off the glass, out to neutral ice. Kirkwood comes right back in, dumping it deep. Here comes David on the forecheck. Gets a stick to it, but not much more than that. Carolina coming out the far boards. Short-handed. Bryson is back for Kirkwood, sends it up to Will. He's got David at center ice. Bryson can't disrupt the rush. Makes a move into the slot. Loose puck. Shot. Good look, short-handed for Carolina there. With the period coming to a close, Kirkwood will have 39 more seconds of power play to start the 3rd period after both teams go scoreless in the 2nd. So Carolina keeps its 2-0 lead heading into the 2nd intermission. We'll let you listen in on the intermission pep talk from Coach Bauer. Carolina scored both of its goals early in the 1st period on near identical plays coming down the right wing on the far boards. Rush coming with speed and then dropping it off to a trailing attacker in that face-off circle, creating an open shot. First one beat Rory cleanly, low in the pads. Second time they did the exact same play. It also went low, this time into the pads. Rebound. Created some chaos that eventually squirted the puck under Rory's pads behind her, but still in the crease. And that was a seriously mad scramble. Carolina did ultimately work it over the goal line for goal number 2. And that was the last of the scoring in this game. We stand 2-0 still here with Kirkwood on the power play. 35 seconds, more of that, but here comes Carolina shorthanded. Kirkwood winning it into the corner. That's Jacob. Up to Aiden. Can he get the handle? He cannot. Does get a stick to it. 10 seconds of power play left. Carolina still in, shorthanded. Jaden finds the exit up to Aiden. Carolina back to full strength. Now Jackson fighting forward. Carolina wins the puck. Jaden back on it though, good stick. Tries to get it back to Gavin. Cannot. And now Carolina works it out. Coming forward. Taken by Leo. He loses it though. High slot shot. Rebound. Swept away. And Jackson turns it around at neutral ice. Still on the puck. Liam comes in to support the play off the bench. And here's a bit of a rush for Carolina. Stopped at the blue line. Bodie sends it out to Liam. He's got Leo with him. Finds Sam on the other side. Drops it to Jacob. Loads up a long wrister. Goes well wide. Leo's on the puck in the corner. Makes a move. Whiffs on the pass. Now it falls to Liam. Does get a shot off, but the goalie is there. Kirkwood stays scoreless. Still trailing 2-0. Stars are starting to find each other in the offensive zone. Can't get one to go just yet. Bryson on the dot for Kirkwood. Goes to David. Sends it wide and behind the goal. Bodie can't hold the line. Puck comes all the way on goal. Bryson in on the forecheck. Carolina wins it back. Jacob skating back on D. And Jacob breaks it up before the blue line. Gains the offensive zone. Puck does go all the way on goal. Here comes Carolina. But Will gets back quickly. Now Bodie. Jacob overskates the puck, gets back on it. Carolina skating behind their own goal. Now thought about changing directions. Stays up that same side. Puck comes back to Gavin, looking for a teammate. Finds Will, broken up. Will at center ice. Can't corral it. Here comes Carolina. Good stick by Gavin. Gavin skating it forward now. Up ahead to Jackson. Great pass. Can't bury the shot. Great look from Jackson thanks to a marvelous pass from Gavin out of the defensive zone. And here's Carolina. Broken up by Aiden. He turns it around. Skating up these near boards. Carolina winning it back in the corner. Centering. Gavin's there. Up to Aiden. Chipped off the boards. Jackson skates it down, no icing. Here's Carolina, they have a chance at a rush here. Now 2-on-none, but offsides. 2 Hurricanes were away, but one got over the line before the other, and it stops the clear breakaway. Leo comes away with the face-off. Can't turn the corner. Gets back to the puck though. Switches it over to Jacob. Sends it in on goal. Deflected out to the corner. Back to Sam. Sends it in on goal. Now behind the net. Carolina passing it out. Both defensemen are back for Kirkwood. Puck squirts to the neutral zone. Kirkwood can't get to it first. Here comes Carolina. Battle for it. Centering picked off by Liam. And oh, he's trying to skate it out. Loses the handle. Carolina comes the other way. Makes a move. Broken up by Bodie, who slaps it around, up through the corner, up the boards. Bodie back on it behind his own goal, whiffs on the puck, and Carolina's still on it. Now Jacob will skate it out himself, finds Bryson at center ice, thinks about what he wants to do, shot is blocked. Puck is loose, Carolina's on it. Carolina 1-on-1, no 1-on-2. Good stick by Gavin. Will coming the other way. Centering, shot! Loose, it's in the goal! Bryson! With the follow-up. And Kirkwood finally cracks the code. Gets their first goal of the game. And Kirkwood players will take a knee here as the Carolina goalie was a bit shaken up on the play. Kirkwood coming in hard on that rush. Needed a couple follow-up attempts to get that one to go. But Bryson gets his second goal of the tournament. He is the team leading scorer, now on 14 goals for the season. So Kirkwood cuts the lead in half, trailing 2-1 now with 5:22 left in the game. David tries to move forward. He goes down, puck comes down low into the offensive zone. Carolina clears it back to Gavin. Off the glass. And Carolina comes the other way. Turning the corner. Tries to center. Broken up by Gavin and Bryson. Gavin battling for it. Blake turns that centering pass aside as another one sneaks through the slot. Will finds David on the opposite wing. Puts on the brakes. Sends it behind the goal. Will. Oh, that's a push from behind. No call. Let's sort it out. So the penalty is going to be on Blake. as tension is starting to rise here as this game tightens up late. Fifth penalty of the game, second on Kirkwood. So they've got a penalty to kill off here as they chase the equalizer. Bodie battling for it in the corner, now behind the goal. Centering, nobody's home. Carolina's on it. Good stick by Aiden. Now Jackson will skate it out. Carolina pokes it back in. Holds the line. Aiden sends it off the netting. That in the NHL would be a delay of game, but just a neutral zone face-off here at this level. Liam, as the puck squirts into Kirkwood's territory, but they send it out quickly. 45 seconds left to penalty time to kill off here. Centering to Liam. As here comes Carolina, 2-on-2. Centering. Good stick by Jaden to break that up. And now out to Liam. Skating in. Puck squirts to the goalie. He keeps it live. Centering to Liam again. As Kirkwood will return to full strength here. Sam jumps on the ice for Blake. 2:50 left to go. Kirkwood trailing 2-1. Back to full strength. Carolina has it in the corner. Gavin is there with Sam. Up to Liam, who sends it out. Back to a black jersey at center ice. Carolina reloads. Now they turn it over to Kirkwood. Leo gains the blue line. Back out to Sam. And over the line, offsides. So Bryson will take this face off at neutral ice. David and Will on the wings. Blake and Gavin on the D-line. 2:13 left to go in the game. Kirkwood down 2-1. Bryson cut the lead in half. Looking for the equalizer now as David and Bryson battle for it. Squirts to Will. Top of the slot. Shot off the glove. Loose in the crease. There was a glove save, but it dropped to the blue paint. There was a scramble for it. Carolina does cover just under the 2-minute mark here. As Kirkwood scrambling to find that equalizing goal. They pull Rory to go 6-on-5 with the empty net. Carolina breaks out of the zone. Aiden has it for Kirkwood, sends it up the boards, back on the puck now. And a late whistle for offsides with some encouragement from the opposing coach. Bryson still on the dot for Kirkwood, 1:41 to go. Kirkwood still playing with the empty net to get the 6-on-5 out-skater advantage. Puck goes deep, Will gets it on the other side. Battle for it here in the corner, Aiden on the puck, centering. Gavin with the deep pinch. Aiden can't track it down. Now it comes out to neutral ice. Will tracking it down. It goes for icing. 1:04 left in the game. Kirkwood chasing that equalizer after Bryson cut the lead in half. Still skating empty net. 6-on-5. Liam on the dot. Carolina comes away with the draw. Good stick by Jaden. Puck squirts loose. Icing again. When you're the team facing the empty net, it is oh so tempting to just clear it in hopes of finding the gaping empty net goal. But they really need to wait till they cross that center line to fire away. Otherwise, it's going to keep bringing it back into the offensive zone for Kirkwood. Now we have a late penalty for a hook against Liam. Very late after the play. So Rory's going to have to go back into the goal with the face-off coming back on their side of the ice. So Kirkwood goes from skating 6-on-5 with an empty net to now down a man with Rory back in goal. Loose in the slot. Jackson picks it up. He's got a rush. 3-on-2 for Kirkwood. Now they're pulling Rory again as the puck is loose behind the goal. Kirkwood was skating shorthanded. Now they pull Rory to even things up. Back out to neutral ice. Bodie is there. Ahead to Leo. Deep into the corner. 20 seconds left. Carolina skates it out. Now they shoot. This time. And they do call icing. I was just getting ready to say I thought they were patient enough to cross the center line that time, but maybe not patient enough, as it is again whistled for icing. 10 seconds left. Kirkwood trailing 2-1. They've got a star in the penalty box. No goalie in net. David on the dot. Now he comes off. Aiden skates into the circle. Puck back to Blake, shoots. What a look for Kirkwood off that draw. As Carolina ties it up in the corner, kills the clock and wins the game. So Carolina holds on. It was a big push by Kirkwood there towards the second half of that final frame. They got one to go, but couldn't get another. So Carolina takes game one between these two teams, 2-1. I do expect two more between these two sides. Ultimately, these group games don't mean much as long as you secure one of the two championship slots. That Sunday game will be the one that matters most. So both teams get a good look at each other here. Kirkwood gets to see a favorite play of the Hurricanes they scored twice on in the first period. They will be more ready for that next time around. They were starting to sustain more possession and pressure as the game wore on, but ultimately couldn't get that equalizer to go. But this is just chapter 1 of 3 in this weekend series for the Nashville Shootout. Still do need to take care of business against Nashville, of course, but assuming that, we get to see these Hurricanes 2 more times, with Sundays being the one that matters most. So it was Bryson again for Kirkwood, who cut the lead in half with their Stars' only goal. Team leader in goals this season, now up to 14. He also pulls even with David atop the points leaderboard, both of them at 20. Although we'll have to check the score sheet. David may have gotten an assist on Bryson's goal there, which would keep him ahead 21-20 in points, but we'll go to the tape for that one. Don't want to be too hasty, I guess. But we'll say goodbye for today with 2 more on deck for tomorrow.